Everything they said was true.
What?
Everything Dave and Brian said about Tyler.
Like, everything in this movie was so true about the single moms, you guys.
That too, but I'll get to that later. This movie was great. Oh.
Well, we went and saw the Single Moms Club.
Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club.
Tyler Perry's The Babysitters Club.
Tyler Perry's Waiting to Exhale.
Which is about single moms and how hard it is to be them.
So hard. I had to fire my maid, man.
I know, it was terrible. This movie had two points. 1, men are evil. 2, you need a man.
Mm-hmm. This movie left me really confused.
This movie, you're following basically these. We got Clemmy from Reno 911. We got Amy Smart. We got Regina King. Was that her?
No, Nia Long.
Okay, Nia Long.
Yeah.
We got Big Black Lady.
Yeah.
And we got Sassy Latino Lady. So 5.
For Reno 911, that's what I fucking recognized her from.
Yeah, that's Clemmy.
Fuck, I spent the whole movie, for a while I thought it was Alexandra Wentworth from In Living Color, because she kind of looked like her, but a little older. Alright, yeah, that was seriously driving me nuts in the movie.
Should have asked me the one time I actually knew where we knew that lady from.
Yeah.
But they were all single moms from different walks of life, whose children all happen to be going to this really exclusive boarding school.
And they also happen to be the worst child actors I've ever seen.
I still think that one little boy had to have been, like, at least related to Tyler Perry.
Oh, he doesn't have any kids.
Oh, no?
He's a swiggin' bachelor who likes filming dudes with their tops on. Yeah!
Doesn't know how women work in the branular area.
And has no chemistry with anyone he acts opposite of.
Well, he was like a nephew or something. He definitely, he looked kind of Tyler Perry, and his acting style was exactly the same. Just to say. What? No, really.
Yeah, she's doing stuff.
Platitude idiom?
Hey, kid, why don't you go play with them knives in there? Go
Be careful with them knives.
Be careful with them knives in there, kids. God damn it, this movie sucked. 15 minutes in, I was about to say, like, do you want to leave?
We were laughing mostly at the idea of just, like, telling Dave and Brian that, like, oh, we couldn't do it after all, you guys have to go.
That was why I stayed. They would have murdered my ass if I had after sending them to however many of this dumb shit's movies, and if I had said, like, yeah, dude, we left. That was really bad. They would have murdered me. So that was literally the only thing keeping me there. I no shit, like 15 minutes in, I was about to go, like, we could go. Because I've never walked out of a movie before, but in this case, this was not a movie.
I have walked out of one movie. I walked out of Mickey Blue Eyes.
This movie was way worse than Mickey Blue Eyes.
It was so much worse than Mickey Blue Eyes. Like, I didn't know how good I had it. Well, because I texted you, because I bit the shit out of my tongue in my sleep last night. And I was thinking about not coming, but I didn't want to leave you hanging, and I couldn't do that to Dave and Brian.
Hey, come on, guys. We're gonna see. Man, everything they said about him's true. This movie's way worse to sit through than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought, like, I don't know, like, the way they described the other fucking movies, I was like, yeah, it sounds like a horrible melodrama, and it is, but...
Actually, if it was melodramatic, it would have at least been something. This movie, like it concocted conflict in, like, the second act. Past that, it was just, these 5 ladies have become friends. Tyler Perry doesn't know how ladies work, so they're just gonna blast idioms at each other. What are we to do about these issues of being a single mother in this day and age? I don't know. We should start a support group. High five! The end.
She's right. That's what it is. But I mean, beyond... somebody said once, somebody on one of the news channels says that Tyler Perry and before I say this is the first one of his movies, excluding Alex Cross, that I've seen all the way through. I've started watching some of his movies before, and again, I was at home, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, 15 minutes in, just shut it off. You know. This is the first one from point A to point B that I've totally seen all the way through, and so I can't vouch for a lot of them on very, very specifics, other than the 15 minutes I saw were terrible, but somebody said once that Tyler Perry, in his movies, victimizes women way more than a typical exploitation movie does.
Oh, yeah.
And from this movie, I can see that. Mm-hmm. I can so see that.
Well, freaking Terry Crews, who's, okay.
Who is still one of my favorite parts about the movie.
Well, yeah. Let's explain. Well, first of all, there was one couple that I was actually sort of pulling for in this movie, and that was Big Sassy Black Lady and Terry Crews.
I honestly really liked her.
She worked in like a Waffle House, and he kept coming in and being like, Lydia, I want to get with you, girl. And she's like, no, I don't like you, go away. So, like, eventually they go on a date, and he tries to kiss her, and she kind of like smacks him. And then he just grabs her, slams her against a car, and starts making out with her against her will. So she pushes him off. He does it again. She pushes him off. He does it again. She's into it. Now they're dating.
Yeah,
what? And he says, next time I see you, you better be nice to me. And she says, I will, Daddy.
That's because...
That is verbatim.
She's not over-exaggerating. That's exactly how the scene goes. Probably because I wonder if he did read 50 Shades of Grey. There was
one scene where Amy Smart was reading 50 Shades of Grey. We're like, we didn't read that book. He just knows it's lady porn.
But that Terry Crews scene makes me think maybe he did read that. And
So this is what women like.
I'm honestly with you on the big sassy lady. I actually... If there was one thing about this movie other than Terry Crews, I actually really did kind of like her. Mm-hmm. Like, if she seemed like
one of the more three-dimensional characters.
Yeah,
in the movie.
And she also was gave one of the only good performances in the movie. Mm-hmm. She was like a character that would probably work well in a really good movie. She just kind of happens to be in a very, very shitty one. Like, I could kind of see a whole movie working around this character if it was made by somebody with a fraction of fucking talent. Mm-hmm. What she's saying, when you actually break down what she's saying, it's like pretty typical bad Tyler Perry dialogue. Like, yeah. But she's really good. She makes it work. She's selling it,
because everyone else is kind of like, I'm a single woman, and where have I been? I've been sleepwalking these past 8 years, trying to be a better wife, and I feel as though I have lost myself. You haven't lost yourself. You're just waking up.
I like the one couple where, when are you going to introduce me to your kids? Because we've been dating for a year.
Also, he hasn't told her he loves her yet.
After a year!
After a year. They've just been, like, making out in secret because, well, she was married. Was that fucking Dean Cain?
No.
Okay,
No, that was the token white guy from, Best Man Holiday. Also with Nia Long.
Okay.
In fact, he was with her in that movie, if memory serves me correctly.
I was hoping it was Dean Cain so I could do the John Mulaney bit.
No, he's evil.
Dean Cain.
Fucking Dean Cain. God damn it. I would expect him to be in this piece of shit.
She's like the evil ex-husband.
You can tell he's evil. He's the one in the movie with a goatee.
Sassy Latina lady, and she's like dating a guy for a year on the sly because her ex says that if she's dating a guy, he's gonna kick her out of her house. But you have to be like a certain level of stupid not to understand how divorce proceedings work.
Tyler Perry does not know how anything works at all. Like, listen to Dave and Brian talk about fucking Medea Christmas. He doesn't know how agriculture works. He doesn't know how farming fucking works.
He doesn't know how the publishing
He has no idea how the fucking publishing industry works in this fucking thing. He doesn't know how to... The guy doesn't know how to do anything. He can't act. He cannot direct. Like, I trust me, when I get started on his directing in this movie, I'm gonna go off on a tear. So, like,
can I go off on a tear real quick on the publishing industry?
Yeah.
May, good news! We've decided to publish your book, and here it is.
After a week.
No, just like behind her back, she has it. It's got the cover on it.
Yeah.
She apparently got permission from her. It's just kind of like, yep, poof.
And people can get in trouble or fired or denied promotions in this movie for reasons that I think are illegal.
Well, because, like, this... I, like Tyler Perry, don't understand how high-level publishing works. So, like, I could see someone being passed over for promotion to partnership because they're unwillingness to work overtime.
But like the way that they up and say why that they don't, like, that's, like, okay, that's the legal way to say something like that. Like, look, you can't work overtime, so, we're gonna have to pass it up. But the way they do it in this movie, they blanket say exactly why people aren't getting promotions, why people are not getting picked up in this. The guy practically says, like, oh, it's because of your kids. Earlier in the movie, she practically says she's not picking up Nia Long's book because it's for a black audience.
Because she's black. Wait, so it's too black? Oh, I can't say that.
Oh, wink.
You can say that.
I can't say that.
Okay, bye.
Sued? Oh, man.
So, yeah, like, Clemmy's got a daughter that she had artificially inseminated because, and I quote, I decided I wanted to have it all. And so she's obviously having problems with this kid because she didn't realize that having a kid takes a certain amount of free time. So she's working this, like, 9 to 6 job, but then also trying to work overtime. So she's got her kid in, like, all sorts of extracurricular activities, and she doesn't understand why the kid's growing up to be a little cunt.
By the way, her name in this movie, I'm not fucking kidding, her fucking name in this piece of shit movie is Jan Malkovich. Jan fucking Malkovich is her name.
A joke I didn't get, but found delightful nonetheless.
Oh my god. Jan Malkovich. So, of course, she kind of acts like John Malkovich.
I didn't catch that
one. Oh, I did. Like, well, not that she's, like, doing an impression, but she acts very...
She's very flat.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were flat in this movie.
Well, she was more, like, really... What's the word I'm looking for? Like...
Dry.
Very
sardonic.
Dry, sardonic, rich white person that you would kind of see... Like, that you would kind of see him playing, sort of, okay, actually kind of like he did in Transformers 3.
Like Dharma, like Greg's parents from Dharma and Greg.
Yeah, except they weren't called Jan Malkovich. Fuck off. No one in this movie has chemistry with each other because I swear to God, for most of the movie, they're not filmed at the same time. The direction of this movie is absurd.
Oh yeah, it's good. Do that go off.
It's fucking absurd. I would totally forgive it if, like, I don't know, if it was one of our movies. Like, if it had the budget of $100 and was, like, a shot-on-video movie or $10,000 like exploitation movie. All right, yeah, I totally like forgive it. Fine. This is a multi-million-dollar movie made by a fucking billionaire, and it is shot worse than Troll 2. I'm not saying that to be over-exaggerating. It is shot worse than Troll 2. There are parts in the movie where the camera just moves for no reason. Like, it's focused on somebody, and then I think the cameraman thinks that the scene is over, which is understandable because scenes just fucking end in this movie. And then it will kind of like, whoa, wait, like that, and then come back into frame. There's parts where I didn't realize that another person was there until they were put there in an insert shot. Like, and there's a part where Jan Malkovich is talking to her boss, and I thought they were the only two in the room until finally it cuts to a wide shot, and they're in a boardroom meeting. And when they're in the car looking for Nia Long's kid, that was the first time I realized that kid's name. They're like, Rick's missing, and I was literally like, who the fuck's Rick? And when they're in the car, the camera is, actually, it's this angle. The camera is like this, and you see Amy Smart, like, kind of sitting in the middle. Nia Long's here, Jan Malkovich is here, and they're talking, and then all of a sudden, because you can't see them because the seats are covering it, and then all of a sudden it cuts to Waffle House Girl, like, who would be behind you, and I'm... Goddamn whiplash! I was like,
Lydia. Her character's name is
Lydia. I'm like, God, wow, where did you come from? This movie was really scary. People would just pop up in scenes. Like, when the Single Moms Club are having their, like, meeting and shit, it's all the same shots. It never moves. It's all focused on which I get if it's a very, very low-budget movie where you literally couldn't get all the actors there, so you kind of got to work with what you got. But in this, that this does not have. I don't think that they were actually apart from each other during this. It's just shot that way. And because of that, it's awkward, and they have zero chemistry together. This was a weird sit. The whole movie felt like something I shouldn't be watching in a theater. It felt like I was watching, because of the sound, because of the goofs with the camera, it felt like I was watching raw footage from, like, the dailies.
Yeah, there were several lines that they fucked up halfway through.
Yeah!
And, like, can I get another take? No.
No!
Keep going.
He cannot direct scenes. He cannot direct actors. He cannot choreograph anything. There are parts where extras are in the background looking at the camera laughing.
I don't catch stuff like that the way that you
Normally I don't, but in this one I so did. Well,
no, because rewatch it. No.
Admittedly, maybe not that I was deliberately looking for it, but I kind of heard that about some of his other movies, and so maybe it did stick out. I wasn't intentionally looking for it, but maybe it kind of stuck out for me because of that. But yeah, there are parts where the little kids are supposed to be like kind of scared or something, and they're clearly laughing, like they're deliberately laughing, and there's kids in the background that are looking straight at the camera and smiling. It's bizarre. Like, this guy cannot. I don't get it. I don't.
There are actors in this movie that I know can act well. I've seen Amy Smart act well.
Yeah.
And in this, she's just like, her arms are just, it's...
Nia Long. I've seen Nia Long act incredible. She was good in Best Man Holiday. I've seen these actors do, most of them anyway. I've seen do good stuff before, but this is... I don't know how to, I don't get it. I don't. And this is not even it's just not made for me. This is not that. Even when something is not made for me, I know when it's a good use of that product. I know when it's at least maybe a good example of that if it's something you're into. This, no, I'm shocked. I really fucking am. Like, I need to have a giant cigar and a scotch with Brian and Dave, because this is
fruit baskets.
Fuck, or a wreath. Okay, that was funny. that was the legitimately funny part in this movie.
Because, like, I like the little song he sang the first time. It was like,
yeah.
I like to see you, Lydia. I like the way that apron covers up your titties. Like, go away! And then just walks off. And then he comes back. He's like, baby, I brought you flowers. And lifts up this huge fucking funeral wreath. And he's just like,
and the most
in the middle of it.
That is the most I want that image on a shirt so bad.
Just like him, just like
Terry Crews' face in the middle of a wreath. That would be the greatest shirt ever. I want that. I want to hang that at Christmas. And then so he's in this wreath, and she's like, that's a funeral wreath or something like that. And his line, and I legitimately laughed out loud. This was a good line. He says, girl, it's because I want to lay you...
Girl, that's because I'm good at laying it down.
That's because I'm good at laying it down. And he delivered that so well, just teeth...
like he was just waiting for her to ask that.
Yeah! I legitimately laughed at that. That part was funny. Which makes me think Tyler Perry did not write that. I think Terry Crews came up with that, because in the outtakes it shows him ad-libbing.
Yeah, because some of the funnier lines in the movie are, first of all, from Terry Crews, and second of all, Alpha Clemmy, and they're both good comedic actors. So I got the credits started, and, like, they started playing, like, the blooper reel, and we sat through maybe, like, 2 minutes of it, and they're like, wait, we don't have to watch this, so we left.
Can we talk about the fucking, you want some wood? Oh, I got some wood back here. I can pound your wood.
That went on for 45 minutes. Okay, so Amy Smart... The man that she needs to complete her as a person is the contractor who's working on the house next door to hers. And so the whole premise of this movie is that, like, all these women have to put together the school dance for their kids because the principal says so, because their kids got in trouble because they were tagging and smoking on school property. So
tagging,
like spray paint, graffito.
Okay, I was sitting there like, they're in trouble for playing tag? What? I haven't heard tagging used in like that before.
I know.
Sorry.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, okay.
But So
Meanwhile,
back in Amy Smart.
Oh God.
So she's got like this whole big raunchy subplot, I think, because I don't know why, to keep us entertained, I guess. But she's like on the phone with Clemmy when the guy comes to the door, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the contractor. I'll let you know if I need to keep it down." And Clemmy's on the phone, like, "Tell him to stick it in your butt." And so, I'm of course paraphrasing.
I was sitting like, I don't remember that. I remember that from Best Man Holiday, but
so like there's this one part where she goes over to ask the contractor if he'll help them set up for the set up sort of a display for the dance.
Yeah.
The theme is this enchanted forest.
Yeah.
And what devolves into this horribly awkward, stilted single entendre conversation where she's like, "We need someone who can pound
I need someone
some
to pound
wood with their tools." And he's like, "Oh, I can pound the wood. I can
pound wood.
I'm good at pounding. I can go fast. Not too fast. I like to take my time. But like I got plenty of wood back here.
I got some tools back there, like I can get that. I can give you the hammer. I can
go ahead and erect that for you.
I can erect that for you. I got a whole erector thing. It's not too big. It's perfectly serviceable. It's sizable. That goes on. Oh, God damn.
We just focused on him. It reminded me of like the blooper reel for This Is the End, where they show the linorama for them doing like the "You Came All Over My Porno Mag" scene, where it's just the same stuff over and over again because they're trying to get the lines just right, and then they cut the pieces from that to put it in the movie. It was like that, but then they put the whole thing into the movie.
And then they put the whole thing in the outtakes at the end. In fact, it was shorter in the outtakes at the end. It wasn't even outtakes. It was just that scene again, but with different lines. And then when she first sees him, like, working on Tyler Perry got all of his fucking relationship inspiration from that fucking Diet Coke ad from the early 90s. Where the fucking guy's taking off his shirt and all the women are watching it. It's Billy's Diet Coke break. That's what that scene was.
He's really good at showcasing the male form.
He is. This is a very handsome movie.
But he does make a specific effort, though, to talk about how okay it is to be gay before establishing all the women are straight and then sprigging them up with men.
I honestly thought, like...
I was hoping against hope that Clemmy would turn out to be gay.
Yeah, I kind of thought that throughout most of the movie. It was just Tyler Perry addressing it without, like, really... it was almost like he was too scared to actually make the character gay.
Mm-hmm. Or, God forbid, make her straight and just not set her up with a dude.
Oh, she's fine when she's got a dude.
Yeah, I know, right? She's like... Well, what male character have we introduced for like 5 seconds that we haven't set up with someone else? Oh, random guy from What's-Her-Face's office. Good, let's go with it. He bought her stickers once.
He was really nice when he gave her change.
He's a white guy.
My favorite part of that scene was the extra in the background at the copy machine. Who was, yeah, it's what it fucking was.
That's another thing that bugged me too, because when they first introduced that character, I thought, oh, okay, white guy with the black girl, that'll be nice. But then she ended up with Tyler Perry and the white guy.
She had better chemistry with the guy in the fucking office.
She did.
And by the way, it was really cute, like Tyler Perry, like giving writing advice in this movie. He's kind of playing himself, sorta. Like it shows
him himself in a newsy cap.
Yeah.
So you can tell he's in the theater.
And, like, with hair that looks like he darkened it.
What the hell he did to his beard, either.
Yeah.
He drew it on with a Sharpie.
What the fuck was that? Like, and he, at one point it shows him, like, at his work, I guess, and it looked like they were putting on a play or something. So, like, okay, well, he's like, is he playing himself? All right. And then he reads Nia Long's book and is like, saying like, this is good, this is really good. You know what? If fucking Tyler Perry is telling you your work is good, it sucks.
That was another thing too. The whole reason he met her is because they were in the parking lot. She thought her car needed to jump. He's like, no, the fixture for the battery's just loose, and just tightens with his hand, which I don't know from cars. That seems a little dangerous.
Yeah.
But then she's like, oh, okay, thanks, and drives off. But her purse was like on the roof and it falls off. So he takes her purse, looks through it, finds her manuscript, reads it in its entirety, and then leaves her notes. This total stranger who she's never met.
Goes through her whole purse.
Goes through her entire purse and then proceeds to tell her what it says about her as a person, including that he looked at her credit card statement.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. You got some debt. You also got...
probably pay your credit cards. I can help you with that as a man.
You also got that lazy eye, too. Like, I couldn't...
I can't believe you said that.
I didn't know if I should sit here or over here. I wasn't sure where that eye was going.
I hardly even noticed that one of them is lazy.
He was awful.
He gets his lady advice from Mystery.
I don't know where the fuck he gets his lady advice from, but whoever it is a fucking idiot. This movie sets everybody back. This movie sets ants back. Like, this movie's waiting to exhale if they were exhaling a fart. God damn it, I hated this movie.
Movie.
The only... yeah. This fucking movie, the only thing that was really carrying me through it was, I even leaned over to you and said this too, like, was picturing Dave and Brian watching it.
Understanding the plight of the single lady. The single mom lady.
I was trying to picture in my head,
just
what their stance would have been.
Wait, no, you could be Dave and I'll be Brian.
Dave would have just kind of been like... I was practically doing that. Like, I was sitting in positions that I don't think I've ever sat in before in a bad movie.
Yeah, at one point I was like, I had my feet completely up, and I was just like, trying to be as low as humanly possible, because we were talking. We were the loudest people in that theater.
I'm just saying something at a Tyler Perry.
I didn't say it, he said that. But, so...
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Keep our acoustics to, like, below the seat level. But it was just wearying, this movie, because it... Like, I kept wanting to check
at one point, I was sitting with my feet on the chair that was, like, 2 seats down from me.
We were comfy.
Not really. I don't know, like, I wanted the movie was making me want to be uncomfortable. I don't get it. I was sitting, like, with my neck on the floor of the fucking seat.
That was pretty comfy. I actually find those chairs a little more comfortable than, like, the stadium seating, because this is, like, we're at the cheaper theater in Springfield.
Yeah, we're at it. They didn't preview this over at the other one.
And this one's got just, like, the regular seats kind of sloping gently down towards the screen as opposed to the stadium seating, which lends itself better to sitting like a moron.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's an old school kind of theater.
Like, if a reputable movie maker had made this movie, I would be livid about the way it treated women. But I'm just not surprised, nor am I offended, because he didn't treat anybody well in this movie.
Yeah, not really.
So, I mean, like, everyone's an idiot. Men are both essential and useless.
And he makes horrible child actors try to cry on film, which was so uncomfortable.
All those kids, like, the characters were dicks. I don't know, like, what preteens he has experienced in his life, but they were sociopaths.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there was the one kid who was like, I hate you, Mom! I'm gonna live with my dad! And just slams the door, like, right in her face.
Yeah, his dad turns out to be, like, a drug... And it never shows him! Like, this movie talks about people that, for all I know, don't fucking exist. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, we're talking about the kids and whatever, but honestly, they're barely in this. Like, I didn't know... When kids showed up in the movie... I kind of didn't know whose kid was whose fucking kid.
Well, okay, let's break it down, because, May's kid was the sociopath whose dad had a drug problem, who was just like, he basically just verbally abused his mom until the last 5 minutes of the movie. And then Clemmy's daughter was a slut, just made out with, like, all the boys in school. Lydia's, the fat, sassy black lady, her son was the really, really smart one, which I thought was an interesting way, because, like, it had the interesting character aspect of the mom trying to raise a kid who's already way smarter than she is, because this kid is obviously, like, really, really gifted. So at one point she's like, did you do your homework? He's like, yeah, here, check it. She's like,
is this right?
Go to your room.
Is this right? Get to your room.
Don't look at me. Go to your room.
Don't look at me. Get to your room. I liked her. Mm-hmm. I did. Like, she found some way to make that material, the lines she was giving, passable. Mm-hmm. I don't know how, but she did. Like, she had really good... She was very... maybe that was it. She was very expressive. She's very expressive. She was very physical.
Like, just really big, pretty, like... It's kind of sad-looking eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't... Has she been in anything?
She looked vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen her in something. Maybe Dave and Brian have seen her in something.
We'll Google her later.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the other kids. Oh, the big-eared kid that was Amy Smart's that was basically raised by her nanny.
They were making cookies.
No, that was sassy Latina lady's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Those two girls looked exactly the same, so I don't fault you the mistake. But no, big-eared daughter was the one who had the "I don't hate you, Mom. I just don't know you."
One thing, the only difference in this than from what I've heard Dave and Brian talk about his other movies, is that this movie there was no really, like, Jesus-y stuff in this movie, which I guess is very prominent in his other movies, although there kind of is, because most of the stuff, when they're trying to say something very intelligent, or, like, when they're saying stuff like, when they're trying to give wise, sage advice, like, any time that happens in the movie, it could easily be followed with, as it says in the Bible. There's really no religious stuff in the movie.
Not really, just platitudes.
Yeah, they, again, easily could be followed with, like Jesus said. So that's one thing that I noticed.
Like Jesus said, it truly is difficult being a single mom.
No, that was the Apostle Peter.
Oh, my bad.
According to Tyler Perry, that's probably true.
The gospel according to Tyler.
Well, you saw Son of God. Did that line come up in the movie?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh, that's Brian. He fell asleep. This movie, I can't...
Oh, that'd be terrible. Fall asleep during Son of God and dream about Tyler Perry.
Well, he's practically Jesus. They're besties. That's the only reason I can think of how Tyler Perry gets his fucking movies made and in theaters, is he's personal friends with some higher being.
Commercial successes. I mean, again, like you said, it read like a low-budget movie, so they can't put that much money into it.
I don't know how much these movies cost. I can't imagine that they're really expensive, but they have the kind of budget to where they at least should fucking know better. Mm-hmm. Like, they do, because I've seen movies that are made for under $500,000 that do not have the problems of this fucking movie. I've seen Bruno Mattei movies that are more well made than any of Bruno's movies, honestly, are way more well made than this fucking movie.
Okay, well, you're slightly biased on that one.
No, I'm not. Like,
all of Bruno Mattei's movies.
Yeah, all the ones I've seen.
I'll pronounce it wrong.
All the ones I've seen. If they have any problems, technically speaking, he at least kind of makes it work for him, and he's at least sort of aware of himself and aware of his own faults. Even when it's one of his movies that I don't really fucking like all that much, he still works with what he's got to try to make the best out of whatever material he's handed to. I can at least tell what's going on in his movies. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I can name...
I didn't say a goddamn thing.
you didn't have to. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I watch so many fucking shitty-ass movies. I can tell when one's really, really horribly, horribly, horribly fucking made. Like Violent Shit or whatever. Something like Violent Shit. But in something like Troll 2, which is Claudio Fragasso, I can at least tell what's going on. I can at least tell where a person is in conjunction to the scene. This movie was staggering. Like, it was really staggering. Like, I need...
You take it rough, buddy.
Kinda. Endless Love remake was more well made than this fucking thing.
This movie was bad, but it was like, for me, at a certain point, it was like watching a kid's play, in that I was bored to tears, and I was basically just counting down the clock, but I wasn't mad, because they're doing their best. God bless them.
I don't know if I was horribly mad watching it. I was annoyed, but you are kind of right, in that Yeah, okay, yeah, it does feel like a movie that's directed by a guy who started out making plays. Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, it does kind of look like that. And yeah, what are you gonna say if you go to a bad kids play? You gonna stand up and go, "Fuck you"? No,
this editing is terrible.
Yeah, no, not at all. Now, if that kid's play somehow gets put in 2,000 theaters across the country for some goddamn reason, then yeah, fuck off.
And then use the "bless his heart" is the phrase you use for that.
Tyler Perry's "bless his heart."
Tyler Perry, bless his heart. Little Dickens.
It's gonna make, man, this movie's the best friend of Need for Speed that I gotta see tomorrow, because this movie can't be that bad.
Yeah, you offered me skipping this one and going to Need for Speed
I
instead,
did.
And I'm like, no. I told the internet I'd go see it.
That's what I, because
So
like,
you're welcome.
I gotta go see Need for Speed tomorrow, because Brian and Jake were gonna go to Need for Speed tonight, but Brian got sick, and I couldn't find anybody else, so I'll just go see Need for Speed tomorrow.
I actually played that game.
I've watched it played. Maybe I've played it a little bit, but I can't remember. But that was actually that was when we went to go get our tickets.
I think I have. Is that the one where, like, when you bonk into something, it goes kind of slow motion in black and white? Shunted, maybe?
Maybe.
I know from Gran
don't know.
Turismo, and all the rest of them are a blur for me.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, Burnout. Are you thinking of Burnout?
Burnout. Burnout was fantastic. They should make that movie.
Yeah. I'd watch that.
I've actually got the soundtrack on my iPod because you can set it to just like play moody classical music. So you're just like flipping cars to like the Lakshmi's The Flower duet. Yeah, so good.
It was really funny because I pre-ordered the tickets the other day, and so I had to get the Need for Speed ones refunded, and so we're at the ticket counter up there, and the dude behind there was like, "Yeah, I need 2 of those refunded."
Which ones?
Need for Speed. And I don't think Need for Speed is supposed to be pretty bad too, but it can't be this bad.
So you're keeping Tyler Perry.
Yes. Yeah. And then he brought over the manager, and the guy said, like, they don't want to see Need for Speed. They
want to see Medea.
They want to see the Tyler Perry movie. And I was sitting there like, well.
Want is a strong word.
Want is a very, very strong word, Sonny.
Sonny.
I should have said Sonny when I said that.
I've been saying old chum a lot lately. I don't know why.
Well, that's about as funny as when we were at the video store and you went up to the guy who worked there and said, "Yeah, where's Old Dogs?"
Pardon me.
Did you
have a copy of Old Dogs?
Did you say pardon?
Of course I did.
That's awesome.
A polite young lady.
That is awesome.
And they looked it up, and it was in the family fun section.
Fuck that.
I don't know. We had fun. Mostly was making fun of Dave, but you know.
Oh yeah, because we were going on Twitter saying, "God damn, Dave making us watch this on his birthday." It wasn't his birthday. Fuck you, Brad. Fuck you. Fuck you. Well, I had to rent the movie, so it was fucking Old Dogs and that fucking Chris Kattan where he's twins.
Oh, yeah, it's like just
crazy enough or something like that, which was bad, but Old Dogs was worse.
So much worse.
It was worse. Like the Chris Kattan movie was bad, but that's something when like there's a movie that's worse than a movie where Chris Kattan plays 2 characters.
Plus, until the bitter end, I kept confusing it with Wild Hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Probably equally as bad, but not nearly as indecipherable.
I had to go like, I'll take these.
Throw like Citizen Kane on the top.
No.
Like a porn to make it acceptable.
Yeah. I've done that. Like, I was like, I'll take these masterpieces. And the guy there was like, okay. And he's like, that'll be due back in a week. I'm like, I'll make sure to get it back to you as soon as possible. I did do when I turned 18 and was able to rent porn for the first time, I would go rent a porn, and then I'll be like, oh man, this is going to make me look really dirty. I should rent a kid's movie too. You know, in retrospect, probably made me look so much worse. I'll take, Honey,
the Tigger movie.
Oh no, I didn't rent that. I'll take The Story of Olivia and Honey, I Blew Everybody, and Foreskin Gump, and also this copy of The Best of the Pink Panther. The Best of Donald Duck, Volume 1.
What you gonna say? I'd like this copy of Debbie Does Dallas and Honey, We Blew Up the Kid.
I'd have felt more embarrassed about Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I did watch the kids' movie.
There was some movie I watched just 50 billion times when I was little, and the main thing I remember about it is it had a preview for Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves on it. And since I saw the movie so many times, I've seen that preview more times than I've seen most previews.
I never saw Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. I saw Honey, I Blew Up the Kid in the theater. I saw that once.
I never saw that one. That's the one where they had a baby and they made it big, yes?
Yeah, that title was so misleading. I thought they were gonna
explode. Oh yeah, that's a good family friend. Honey, we murdered our child.
Well, they did that on The Critic, where it was the spoof of Silence of the Lambs called Honey, I Ate the Kids. Hannibal, have you seen the kids? I haven't seen them since lunch. You look tired, Clarice. Let me take your temperature. Hannibal, that's a meat thermometer.
Womp, womp, womp.
Do you have anything else about fucking single wives waiting to exhale
Tyler Perry
club?
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's doing. Man, I hope he doesn't have any more movies out this year.
But I now truly know the plight of the single woman. Turns out it's hard.
So hard. That would suck having to fire my maid.
I know. It would suck to have to turn down a partnership in my Fortune 500 company.
Mm-hmm. Fuck that noise. I want to go home and watch Caddyshack 2.
Okay, what previews did we get?
Oh,
we were just talking about it. Should we just talk about The Purge?
We didn't get The Purge Anarchy. I got that a couple weeks ago. That movie looks great.
Well, because if you go back to our review of The Purge, we actually talked about how we wished that it would be an anthology.
Yeah.
And that they would kind of extrapolate on stuff other than some random dude's boring family.
Yeah, that it wasn't...
Maybe they watched our review, Brad.
I hope so. Or every review I've ever read for that was like the same. It was like, wow, this is actually a really good concept for what could be kind of funny, that could be kind of funny satire, but they wasted it on this home invasion movie. The second one looks amazing. The second one looks crazy fun. Like I'm so down for that. We got
the single lady.
The other woman.
Is that what it's called? It's
yes.
like Charlize Theron, Leslie Mann, and I think
it's
Kate
Cameron
Upton.
Diaz.
Oh yeah, sorry. I get them confused with pinch-faced blonde women.
Cameron Diaz. God damn it! I get that trailer a lot. That movie
when it first came out, I thought,
it
might be funny, but I'm getting kind of bored of it.
Oh man, yeah. We got another fucking movie that is a sequel to something that I can't even remember existed.
Oh, like Kevin Hart and his fiance have gone to Las Vegas and are like having competing bachelorette parties.
Was it Think Like a Man 2? TOO?
Yeah, I think so.
I was sitting there watching, like, this is the entire cast of About Last Night. Literally, it is. It's like the whole fucking cast. But apparently About Last Night is the entire cast of Think Like a Man, I guess. I don't know if all these people are in the first one, but
I like to think they're friends and they just like doing movies together.
They just make all these movies. Yeah.
Hey guys, want to go on a trip to Las Vegas?
Sure.
I don't know, we can get it comped.
Yeah, fuck. We'll write it off on our taxes. We'll go to fucking Vegas, shoot this movie for 2 days.
Whee!
Transformers 4, we got that.
I was looking for DJ Miller and I didn't see like hide nor hair of him.
Me neither. Mark Wahlberg going, I think we found a Transformer.
You guys. Come on, Transformer, it's Judgment Day.
This is the first time I've ever... this is the first one of these Transformers movies.
I'm genuinely excited about it.
That I actually want to see. What a difference not trading out Shia LaBeouf for Mark Wahlberg can make. Like, it can make all the fucking difference in the world.
Because it's either going to be, genuinely interesting or fucking The Happening, but with giant robots.
Mm-hmm. And robot dinosaurs. And, okay. Like, I'm sure it'll be fucking 3 hours long, but... Alright, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that.
And T.J. Miller's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, he was also in Yogi Bear.
Okay, well, I don't plan on watching that movie, so what's your point?
You're gonna watch Yogi Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
I am going to watch Yogi Bear.
I thought
I saw it at Best Buy and almost bought it, but I'm like, I want to watch Yogi Bear. I don't $8 want to watch Yogi Bear.
I'd watch Yogi Bear.
Okay, we'll watch Yogi Bear.
I'd watch it. Yeah, I'd watch Yogi Bear. Fuck.
Split the $8 with me, and then you can have you can have custody on the weekdays, and I'll
of Yogi Bear.
Yes.
I think Yogi Bear's of age. We have to trade custody for Boo Boo.
Being a single mom is hard.
Mm-hmm. Raising your bears. Oh, bears! We got bears.
Oh yeah! It turns out it's a Disney movie, so I don't have to worry about one of the cubs dying halfway through the movie.
Since it's real
concern.
animals they're working with. What did I say? It was Grizzly Man without the tomfoolery or something
I
stupid?
said, what's a tomfoolery? And you said, poking the bears and getting eaten.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the tomfoolery of the bears eating that guy. Like, hey, you cut that out.
No, it was the tomfoolery of the guy in that movie going, look at its poop, it's so warm.
Silly naturists.
Damn it, I can't remember what else we got.
We got 5 billion trailers, too.
Yeah,
I think that they were
did.
trying to front load us with interesting information to tide us over for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you could tell they weren't really sure what previews to pair with this movie.
Because we got, Disney's Bears.
Yeah.
And Transformers 4.
Transformers, Bears, Draft Day.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, that looks... I don't have any... I like Kevin Costner.
I do like your idea of making Jillian in charge of the sports movies.
Jillian could be the sports movie person. That'd be kind of funny.
Well, fucking none of us know from sports. You could send Alex, I guess.
Hey, I watch things. I watch baseball.
I like the Bears.
Go Bears! Yeah, Alex could be the sports movie guy with Jillian. He can sneak in a 12-pack of Stag beer in the theater.
It's in my backpack. Glove, 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 glove.
So, we hope you enjoyed this as much as Dave and Brian talking about Tyler Perry movies, because, man, this movie sucked dick. I cannot fucking recommend this fuck-off movie to anyone. Except for maybe to film students. To be like, this is what you really shouldn't do in movies if you ever get total control of your own movie, like fucking auteur Tyler Perry does.
Except if you know your movie is terrible, cast Terry Crews.
Yeah.
His bits are watchable, and that awful From Africa movie with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
The preview made me chuckle because there's one part where they get to Africa and Terry Crews is there like, hey!
Yeah. Maybe I should watch the Terry Crews sitcom on TBS now.
TBS knows funny.
Sure they do. They have all the Tyler Perry sitcoms. That's how funny they know. They keep renewing the Tyler Perry movies, but they canceled Dion Cole's show. Fuck that.
Don't they cancel Black Box?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they canceled Black Box.
I don't have television.
I think they canceled Terry Crews' show, too. It was like a movie version of those fucking Are We There Yet movies with Ice Cube. But it's Terry Crews in the Ice Cube role.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that he did his best.
As I'll be back tomorrow with Need for Speed, and next week is
the Muppets Most Wanted, which I don't get to go to.
Yeah, no, fucking, what is it? Divergent is next week?
Divergent I get to go to, which means I have to finish reading that book.
Is it any good?
I haven't finished reading it.
Well, I mean, so far.
No, I'm saying that I started reading it about a year ago. Well, it's one of my books on tape off Audible, and I probably only have an hour and a half to go. I just lost interest because it's teenage girls and their teenage problems, but in a weird, poorly planned dystopia.
You think it'll be better or worse than The Host?
I think it would be hard pressed to be worse than The Host. But it also takes place in a subterranean lair.
Sweet.
So, it might have some striking similarities to The Host.
The poster fucking does. Well, we got that next week.
I made myself sad.
Divergent. We're all sad. We just watched this piece of shit fucking movie. I gotta go home and call Dave.
You gotta order your fruit baskets.
Yeah, my wreath. Later.